Good morning. It's Friday, December 7th. I'll be doing a short story update, Valkyrie of Desire novel update, writing tip, and a little short story time. So the next short story, the next piece in the tale, based on the live or the virtual tabletop role-playing collaborative storytelling game that I do through Roll20 with 9 players, not all at once. Next session coming up this Sunday and Monday while I'm in New Orleans, nerding out in New Orleans. So in the hotel, my wife's not thrilled about that, but it's all right. The Don Quixote character that the game orbits, Colgrevance, played by my brother. The next short story piece will be him abandoning the party because of an inspiring dream that was was implanted into him, and he'll be dealing with that, and it'll be a fun Don Quixote kind of about face as that's realized, and he returns, and it'll be happening at the same time as the rest of the parties in the fungi caverns, and I'll do the next series after Colgrevance with the other party in the fungi caverns. And then Valkyrie of Desire, I should have chapter 20 up today. I'm not sure I can get it done before I go to work this morning, but the critiques were pretty positive, or reviews were pretty positive. Not much to critique on Scribophile, so not too much to change. And then chapter 21 is in queue. I'll probably get that up maybe towards the end of when I'm in New Orleans. And one of the things that I was struggling with in chapter 21 was a technical action sequence where I had the main character do some grappling, and it reminded me that though I've got some familiarity personally with Jiu Jitsu after doing it for a few years now, it's not necessarily a good thing to push on readers getting too technical, especially with action. The little movements I need to remember, just like with everything else. If I have 200 words describing an event, an action, anything, and then instead I can do it in 100 words because I've made a strong comparison. So I think in an earlier chapter, I talked about a giant orc mother with a dozen orc babies that are ready to be born, and their faces are pressing against her skin, and their claws are pressing against the skin from the inside. And instead of going on and on about what that looks like, I said I compared it to a bag of cats, and I think that helped reduce the word count and was just more effective. Fewer words, more effective. That kind of analogy, strong analogy. So for when I rewrite when I go through chapter 21, I might see if I can take advantage of my limited grappling knowledge to impart to readers, while not being, but by thinking of some good analogies and not being too technical. So people can get lost in their specialty, and write what you know, but don't bore people with what you know. It's not a nonfiction technical guide. The people want to be immersed. They want to forget themselves. And yeah, so story time. So my son, this sex book was suggested to him by teachers at school, so he took it home, and he kind of wanted to know what I thought. And I'm like, these colors are glaring. It's these weird skin colors, like blue and just inhuman colors, very jarring visually. The content, there's some good stuff in there. There's some very modern, we're going to look at this 10 years from now and be like, yeah, they went too far with this. But anyway, it talks about sex. So he's 9. I guess I better modify my storytelling. So Seeke got a princess. Now they didn't do anything, that way, but Seeke is the main character that's basically Yuri, even though sometimes, anyway, Seeke's been having adventures for a year, and he finally has got a gal that he needs to impress. She wants to go on adventures, so he takes her to the world that has his greatest treasures. It's a world that has no technology, no magic. It's just a harsh world with a band of a ring, a band, a narrow area along the the center of the world that is hospitable for people. North and south of this narrow band is a monstrous, inhospitable land that's encroaching upon the ring of settlements. And Seeke and his princess go there, and he wants this world to survive because this is where his greatest treasures are, and he has a special way of traveling between worlds that other people don't. And he works on building up their skills in defending and shield work, spears, a caravan protections. The princess happens to be very good with archery. Anyway, so I got into some of the finer details of the defenses, and Yuri loves those kind of things. What kid doesn't? Castle defenses, and just imagining a castle that's being built over decades around like a giant road castle thing. And so I did just a short, kind of dived into that and did a short story where the monsters developed the ability to fly, some of them, and were flying over the wall. And Seeke and his princess were engaging in little small combat. And I'm just not summoning the nitty gritty of it, so I'll leave it at that. But just a rich environment for a kid, like these small little combats and stuff. And Seeke's got a princess, and maybe when they're ready, they'll settle down and have and take advantage of all that knowledge in the book that he got from school. Yeah, so there you go. See you next week, hopefully, if the hotel internet isn't too bad. And have a good day. Come on.